Namaste, namastizzle, Greece. Greetings, peace and blessings. What's up? Magic Choir here. Hopefully, y'all had a great weekend and a good start to the week. The holidays are coming up. If you um, if you celebrate, then I hope you have a good one. Um, Also, the winter solstice is 2 days away, so a lot of rituals should be performed and practiced then. But what's going on, good people? Magic LaCroix here. Let's see who's here. Let us see who's her. All right, today is the day of Mars. It is Tuesday, December 19th. Um, um, as always, there's a lot of stuff going around, or not around, but going on in the news and the media. And try not to focus too much on that. The title of this live is called Religion Still Works, because on Saturday morning, as I was walking past my living room, it was early in the morning, and I saw this. Oh, it was an infomercial, like, but it was um, wasn't a commercial. It was more like a program with this mega church in now I can't remember the name of it. Damn it. Camp Meeting, I think. I think that's the name of it. Camp Meeting. And they had this choir behind them, big choir. And they were asking for money, of course, for a favor. I wish I could have recorded the broadcast and then let y'all see it, because I was like, wow, they asked for $333 per person. If you didn't have that, what you could do was break it up to $111 over 3 months. And I'm like, to gain God's favor and to turn any situation around. And I'm like, I look at the audience and I'm like, this still works. Religion still has the masses blind. Still, they still use the biggest hustle ever to get money from and make themselves rich. This church was huge. The choir was huge. You know what I'm saying? When they broke out into a song, I mean, just live instruments, and I'm like, God damn. Then they would show as they was talking, there was like three ministers up there. As they was talking, they was going through like this call center with people who were on the uh in the call center taking orders, taking donations, and you see some of the people, while they talking to the person on the other end. I was like, it amazes me that in the supposed year of 2023, that this has to be the biggest moneymaker ever, the biggest scam ever. All they was talking about was getting God's favor. They say, I mean, one part he said, God already knows how he's going to help you. You just have to take that step forward first, because he already knows. Of course, I'm paraphrasing. He already knows exactly how he's going to help you, you know. But God's favor, I'm like, wow, incredible. I'm surprised because everybody has a smartphone. Even the cheapest phones are now smartphones. They don't have a QWERTY keyboard anymore. So information is literally at your fingertips. You walk around with a phone, with a computer all day on you. You can look up anything. You have access to the internet. We're all connected, right? And the fact that people still believe this shit, the fact that they still believe it. You should have seen the audience, mixed, black, white, Asian, them God is it was this was a Saturday, this was last Saturday morning. I actually stopped what I was doing and sat down and watched the program. I'm like, wow. Think about how all these ministers have gotten found out at one way or the other. They've gotten found out, and yet years later, they come back. They come back and they're able to get not just their ministry again, but they can also get another TV program. Jim Baker is the biggest example that this motherfucker actually went to jail. He is back on TV now, selling apocalyptic care packages. That's the best way I can explain it. Peter Popoff, who got found out that he was like one of those faith healers or something like that, and you would think that he's talking about, he's in the crowd and he's looking for certain people. He calling out certain people. His wife is talking to him in an earpiece. See, before you go into church, you have to fill out this card. You give your information and your name and all, and what your problem is. So the fact that and Peter Popoff is back on air, selling now this miracle spring water. You know what I mean? It amazes me how much of a spell. None of the spells that I've given you over the years on this channel competes, honestly, competes with the spell of religion. What's going on, Tosh? Technique Twin, peace. Konami, peace. What's going on? What's up with y'all? What's up with it? Hopefully, like I said, y'all are all doing great. But my whole point is that religion still works. It is still the biggest moneymaker. I was caught up into that spell when I was younger, and I didn't know any better, right? And yet, I know people from my neighborhood who's still in that mindset to think that there's some man up in the sky who watches everything you do and decides to grant you favors and decides to test you, put you through hardships and adversity. And the fact that some people can't grow out of it, but then again, a lot of people have calcified pineal glands. You know what I'm saying? That makes a big, big fucking difference. A big difference. They can't see past anything when their pineal glands are calcified. Now, if I wanted to make a religion out of this, if I wanted to, I could have done it. I promise you I could have done it. If I wanted to create a cult, I could have done it. All right. I just don't have the desire to get over on people for worthless pieces of paper. Does that make me a fool? To some people, I guess so. But it still works. The tele-evangelism, I found out, is over $1 billion a year industry. They make a lot of money. They are rich. Okay, selling you, not you, but selling the masses a dream, basically. So how was y'all's day? How was y'all's day? Um, that is beyond incredible to me. It's just like, wow, this is still the biggest scam going. Um, we know that there's still not enough people who are, you know, um, practicing magic and doing for self. Okay. The master teachers all taught this. It is within you. It is your capabilities. God is within you. The same spark that created the entire universe resides in you. Compare it to a drop of water from the ocean, a drop of water from the ocean. Okay. It still has the properties of that ocean, albeit in a very small version of it. Same with the creation, same with the universe, same with that spark. It's all within you. Okay? Magic is a way of bringing that out and helping you realize your full potential. But still, like I said, people just do not, they just don't see themselves that way. Okay. The messages are that I give here are for the people who are on the same vibration. Okay. Same frequency. Now, it may seem like I'm disappointed with that. It's just, no, it's this outright surprise. When I actually sat down and watched this program, y'all, and I'm like, wow. And according to them, and they were showing the camera going around the call center, people were calling in, sending in their money. And I'm like, if I wanted to become rich, that was all I had to do, start a religion. Because it still works. And it's easy to fool the masses. It always has been. Did you ever see Azazel Bay's lecture called The Sermon of Dracula? Because he broke down a lot in that. Excellent point. Yes, that's one of my favorites of Azazel Bay. The Sermon of Dracula is the shit. The Sermon of Dracula, he also broke it down in Holy Lies. Okay. Azazel broke it down. Bobby Hemmett broke it down. These, okay. And C. Freeman L. also. C. Freeman L. talks about godhood. He speaks from a Moorish point of view, but like from a universal point of view. Okay. He truly was a master teacher, C. Freeman L. Right. If you never heard me say this before, he's not for everybody because he speaks very slowly, very deliberately. And he may not appeal to people, but what he says, he gets the point across. Okay? Peace and love, Katrina. Namaste. I am working on the theory about most people being NPCs, and there are very few people who are fully awake. Exactly, Taj. I just said in a post of mine, normally I cut up every single day on Facebook, but I just wrote a post just the other day about what I say about NPC. You'd be surprised at how many NPCs are out here. Okay. My post went like this: everything we have been taught has been a lie. I know that many do not actually care and just want to go on living, working, shitting, and then dying. The truth is, life was meant to be enjoyed, not stress-filled and worrying about what bills to pay. You are actually supposed to live hundreds of years, not dropping dead at 60 and claiming it was a good long life. I know many won't read this or will completely skip over it, but that is okay. Everything you've been taught has been a lie. Celebrities are there to help keep you in line, and they're mostly inverted. Wonder why they spray the skies daily, poison both the food and water, and why they will actually lie to you and your children? Again, most don't even care. But to you who are on the same frequency, live to live. Yes, Prepare for your next incarnation, but live life to the fullest while you are here. And find your soul tribe. You would be surprised at how many NPCs are running up. So I'm with you on that 100%, Tosh. Technique says, great. How was your day? My day was great. It was great. It got cold here. I think we're going to have a really strong, cold winter. But we're prepared. We've been preparing since that winter storm we had in 2021. All right. Thanks for asking, Technique Twin. What's going on? Peace and blessings, Oliver McNeary. People want to be told what to do. Free will's wasted on most of it. Absolutely. Because people don't care to do the work. They want to pay away their so-called. Right. They want to pay it away. They feel like they can buy their way into heaven. Again, 2 lectures of Azazel Bay's that I can suggest that you see. One is called Holy Lies. The other one's, like Technique Twin said earlier, the Sermon of Dracula. The Sermon of Dracula that should be considered a classic lecture. I think I have it here. He compares Jesus to Dracula, basically. Speaking of Azazel Bay, let's go real quick. Did I get the right one? Yep, I did. Give me 1 second.
But Stingray is on my menu because that's what pharmaceutical.
All right. Right, he's a true master. Peace. Just got out here out of a meeting. I think you always in a meeting, bro. I think you're always in a meeting, but it's all good, though. It's all good. Glad you can make it, as always. Here's what Azazel says on the classic lecture, Cinderella. Cinderella's, again, one of my favorites of his.
But another reason why we have to get back with our sisters is that karma. Now, karma is not what you think it is. I explained a little bit about karma on the last tape, dealing with Kali Ma, or Kali, who is the goddess of sex and death, representing Lilith and various other gods and goddesses, you see, androgynous being, but basically dealing with the feminine principle. And she wears hands around her neck. Hands represent karma, one representation of hands, your deeds, what you do. But it has nothing to do with you doing something wrong as far as, oh, he robbed somebody or whatever. And then what happens is you think you're going to get some bad karma coming back to you. No, it has nothing to do with that. Karma is dealing with Mother Nature. And by the way, I wanted to make this statement. Mother Nature is fucked up. The matrix is Mother Nature. We want to get outside of the matrix, which is the womb. You want to get outside of the womb, which has been created as a prison. Mother Nature, if you look around you, when an animal dies, or when a person dies, how they rot and decay, it's a horrible or beautiful, depending on how you look at it, you see. But Mother Nature is really fucked up. It's one of the worst it is actually, to your soul and your spirit, it is part of your enemy. But before I get into that, I want to continue on with this dealing with karma. Karma is the law of nature, the natural law of nature, which keeps you within certain parameters on the physical plane. Now, there's another nature called supernature, which is dealing with a whole nother earth. There are various earths, you see, within each other, just like you have auras and chakras, you see. You see, the actual supernatural is outside of the natural or the nature, Mother Nature, you see, Mother Nature. Which, in Mother Nature, you have to understand something. Karma limits what you do, and when you break the law of nature, it acts upon, it's not a reaction, it's an acting upon. It's a constant law. And when you do something, it acts upon that thing that you did that broke that law or tried to break that law. Because the laws of nature is a fucked up thing, and Mother Nature itself sucks. You see.
Mother Nature itself sucks. Yeah. So, according to what the elder just said, Mother Nature sucks. No, well, that's not karma. Yeah, they taught us that karma is whatever you do comes back to you as bullshit. It's about breaking natural laws. When you think about the world and society and the way everything is going right now, how many natural laws are being broken? Without me saying anything in particular. Natural laws. Please play it one day. Are we talking about the Sermon of Dracula technique, twin? That spring water is a joke. It is a joke. It is a straight up joke. It's probably tap water. What's going on, Brother Ronan? Peace, 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 vibe tribe. Talking about decay, Tibetan sky burials. See, Katrina know what he's talking about. So you asked for me to play the Sermon of Dracula. Let me see if I have it. I know I have it somewhere, but that should be required fucking reading, in my opinion. The Sermon of Dracula. I have it somewhere. I know I've played some of it. Yeah, unfortunately, I don't have it here on this computer. Um, maybe I don't know. Yeah, I don't think I have it on this computer, unfortunately. I might. Um, I think I've given it, not given it, but I have put it on my Patreon for people to grab, and and this is not putting down anybody who didn't get it, but there was very, very few people who actually got it. But I mean, um, I think I did put it out though. I'm sure I did. Um, Karma can be broken. LOL. What does La Croix mean? There's a drink called La Croix. It's like a sparkling flavored water. That's a brand. Interesting question. It means, if you're talking about Magick La Croix, we're talking about the crossroads. Okay. Um, it's a French word It means crossroads. Prior to this particular present, my name was Magick Tenebra, Tenebra. Tenebra is a Latin word which means darkness. Okay, magic of darkness. All right. Then I went to Magick Extreme Violence, doing a rough patch where I was kind of getting into some magical wars and battles and shit. So I went to Magick Extreme Violence, and then finally, once I stumbled upon Basil Crouch's works, he went by Basil Crouch, he went by Basil Lacroix. Okay? Lacroix or Lacroix, either way is works. Both ways are correct in how you say it. You know what I'm saying? But it's magic is who I am and what I embody and how I live my life of the crossroads. Because I got one foot in the spiritual world, one foot in the mundane world. That's the meaning behind that name. I hope that answered your question. But LaCroix, the drink, the sparkling drink, that's a brand, you know. Oh, so did y'all see this? um, check this out, y'all. I couldn't believe when I saw this. And then I'm like, we as a society we sink lower and lower just about every day. Check this out. A solid 9-inch turd falls out of the stripper's butt while performing on stage. Requests for her lap dances are up 300%. She shit on stage and it boosted business. Dora pause. You mean to tell me something as nasty as that is an attraction? Something as nasty as a shitting. But not only that, they give details. 9-inch turd. Who went in and measured it? Who measured it? You know what I'm saying? 9-inch. Oh my God. Just when I think this particular society can't sink any lower, it always does. Oh, my goodness, man. My goodness. This is why I tell y'all all the time, meditate, please. Meditate and stay off social media as much as you can. um, the shit, I don't know if that's real or not, but just the fact that if it is, Oxnard, California, stripper Marianne Diamond Simons, popular stripper at the Spearmint Rhino. But as of Saturday night, she is the must-see attraction. So again, she shit on stage and it boosted sales. I don't know what to tell y'all, man. I just don't know what to say anymore. What the fuck? Exactly. What the fuck? Degenerate energy. I wonder what entity presides of wealth for that to happen to her. But at the same time, it's been going on, and Dubai is just being more open. Can you please elaborate on what you mean by right? That's what I was going to say. I'm glad you said that. I heard of fetishes before. Shit. Haven't y'all ever seen, what was it, Two Sisters in a Cup? But for a stripper, how all kinds of sex vibes will probably go out the window for me if I saw a stripper shit on stage. A 9-inch turd. Her sales went up 300%. That's been a fetish. All right, so enough of that. Dubai is known to be nasty low key though. Really? I didn't know that. My wife been to Dubai. I haven't been there. I didn't know that. I just know that's like one of the richest places on earth. It sounds funnier every time you say it. I know you said it because I can't believe that this is the attraction. I worked in a strip club. I got tired of the strip club because I got tired of the drunk customers, the drunk girls, trying to break up fights and just the overall toxic atmosphere, right? Some women was there business like, they was all about business. In what world is that like sexy? Ah, enough of that. Enough of that, y'all. Parasites and people make them, yeah. I didn't know Dubai was like that. I really didn't. Um, damn, y'all teaching me something new. See, I learn too. Learn something new every day. You know. Also, so I finally checked out. There's a people who kept telling me to watch Leave the World Behind because, of course, it was produced by the Obamas. Okay. Um, I don't see the hype. I looked at it. I was unimpressed. They keep doing the same scenario. Okay. They keep doing the same scenario. Think about it. They keep doing the same scenario and they keep hitting white versus black. All right. Subtle overtones, and sometimes just blatant, like in American Refugee. Same scenario. Apocalyptic. All right. Almost like they're preparing you for something. Right. So, but they've been warning this kind of message for years. This ain't the first time. It's just that when niggas get a hold of it, then they all of a sudden they woke and conscious, you know? Like when the Jamie Foxx movie came out. Oh, they got understand they making motherfucker, we've been saying that. We've been saying that. Okay. It's when Hollywood puts it out in a movie, then niggas become aware of it. But Leave the World Behind, Black Box, the movie Cell, Cell, Cell. Okay. Even as far back as Black and White, there's a Twilight Zone episode called Maple Street. Check that out. Check out the message at the end of that. Okay. To say anything will actually give it away, but check out. I think that's the name of the episode is Maple Street. Give me a second, y'all. Yeah, Maple Street. Or Monsters Are Due on Maple Street. Okay. They have been putting out that same message for years. Okay. Now, at this point, I got to wonder, is it to warn or is it just playing games? Okay. So people will start to mistrust other people. See what I'm saying? But they've been constantly doing it. Constantly. Y'all got to wonder, put two and two together, y'all. Y'all got to wonder why they keep doing it. They keep putting out these apocalyptic kind of situations into movies. Of course, by putting the Obama's name on it, that was going to boost popularity. Dubai is ruthless over there. Even when they come to the UK, the rent out expensive hotels and people will do strange things for some change. I believe it. I believe it. I totally believe it. Strange things. Ah, this world is getting stranger, y'all. Just stranger. Um, did y'all see the little boy burst into tears after he caught his mom twerking? Did I show that? Did I show that clip? Somebody let me know if I did this already. The fact that these people were laughing at the boy and recording him while he's crying because he caught his mama twerking on some other dude or some dude, you know what I'm saying? Shows you just how low we have sunk. Okay? Did I show this clip, y'all? Do y'all know? Can anyone remember? All right, let me just show it in. Let's just take a look at it. It's just a programming mechanism because they know clickbait is conspiracy most watched things. That's absolutely correct. Absolutely correct. All right, so check this out. This little boy is mad too because he caught his mom twerking on some nigga. But look at the adults' responses. Look at how they responded to him.
Guys, just watch. This woman was twerking on a man at an event, and her son angrily came, pushed her away. He was shocked that his mom was twerking. He pushed the guy away, said, "Come over here." I had to remove the audio of the background song. The guy was pained. How can his mom do this thing? How can his mom do this shameful stuff of twerking on another man? What kind of shame has she brought to the family? You know,
She don't
this
care.
is the
She
same way
continued
elder
dancing.
brothers feel about their younger sisters. If
She don't even care. You know what I mean? She just continued dancing. The other woman chick was laughing. You know, they think it's funny. Shit like that is funny. That's traumatizing to a little boy to see his mother do that. Right. He was traumatized. Yeah, she didn't even console him with a hug, with a truth, nothing. Baby, I was just playing nothing. Oh, what's going on, Sister Righteous? I'm just now seeing your name. I'm sorry. I was not ignoring. They brought out the trailer for Civil War. I missed that. I didn't know that. Another Civil War? Really? I didn't know that. Civil War movie 2024. It's the first search that came up. Here we go again. Okay. Where president bombs American citizens in near future. Ha, ha. So they have been prepping the masses for this to happen. You know about the story about the little boy who cried wolf, who continued to cry wolf? There you have it. You know, thanks for that, Katrina. My goodness. I swear, Magic ain't needed now. And for you people who are at least on this frequency, I don't know what else to tell you to keep yourself sane in such an insane asylum of a society. Peace, peace. Oh, okay. Yeah, that's a nasty big turn off. I mean, didn't try to do nothing, but just kept on just kept on dancing and acting like his feelings were just nothing. You know what I'm saying? Some people shouldn't be parents. Shouldn't. Let's go back to Azazel real quick. Uh, we can never have enough, too much of Azazel, right? Y'all agree with me on this one? I've been on your secret self for what, the past 3-4 lives now?
Multiple personalities fractured off in the mind, which is actually what it is demon possession in ancient times. If you had that 1,000 years ago in Africa, you were possessed by a demon. And that's in actuality what it is. The mind has split off into different segments based on some trauma that took place that attracted a particular demon that filled that space. And whatever memory it was that created that particular trauma, every time you get a glimpse of that memory, it triggers that demon to come up out of your subconscious mind, out of the fractured 2,197 pieces of the fractured mind. We all have different persons. When you go to work, you don't like the same way you do when you hang out with your boys, right? Different personality comes up, triggered when you step through that door. That's general programming. So multiple personality disorder is a form of how the programmers, going back to the Moon Child, going back to Crowley, going back to Montauk, Long Island, how they traumatize children to split off their brain. And it's a continuing process. For over years, they may torture and program a child, may take 2 to 3 years. And when they're finished, they call them a gem because they're programmed perfectly. And they put them in positions in politics.
I hear that.
High positions in the police force. Transit, or wherever they may be. Those people are programmed with multiple personalities.
This is a very real thing that he said, y'all. Now, who knows how traumatized that little boy was about his mama, but they've been doing that for years too. It's called fracturing the mind. All right. They create alternate personalities, just like he just said. Okay. Think the Manchurian Candidate. All right. They show you everything. Sorry. They show you everything in movies. Let's not forget Raising Cain. All right. A Brian De Palma film, Raising Cain. They gave you the blueprint right there. Raising Cain. Okay. Three Faces of Eve, Sybil, Split. Okay. Now, I'm not saying that all multiple personality are created. I'm not saying that, but a large percentage of them are. Right? Check out the movie Raising Cain. All right. What's the name of that guy? Is it John Lithgow? The actor? John Lithgow? Okay. The Wizard of Oz was the blueprint. The Wizard of Oz. Return to Oz. Labyrinth. Now they're rolling off. Now I'm thinking about them. These are all blueprints for MK Ultra slaves. All right. This is a very real thing. And they told you again in the series, Stranger Things. Like Bobby Hemmett said, either shit or get off the pot. Wolf tickets. Right. You know what? I was just watching another one of Bobby's video. I was looking for something because I had just found out about Jonathan Majors, right? Just found out about him. And something Bobby said in a lecture came immediately to mind. He said, when you go to court, that's just reliving or reenacting the Osirian drama all over again. You are supposed to say, you're not supposed to agree to shit when you go to court. Nothing. He said, I don't care if you was caught red-handed with shit. You're supposed to, wasn't me. You know, you're supposed to deny, right? So when I seen Jonathan Majors got found guilty, even though she was chasing him, I'm like, Okay, what are they distracting us from this time? Okay, what laws are being passed? Always look in the opposite direction. But then again, like I said, Bobby Hemmitt's words come to mind when I was thinking about that. Phlegm in my throat. Uh, I think it was this particular lecture. I'm not quite sure. Yes, he said about the OJ trial. That was it. Katrina. Katrina's always on it. It was the OJ trial. I thought it was the Black Mystical Agenda lecture where he said that. But I couldn't find it. But I always remember he said that. You know, examples, I went to court, they pulled me over for loud music, right? So when I got back to work from that weekend, there was a lot of coworkers talking about how they got pulled over for loud music. Also, a lot of people had to go to court. I'm like, damn, that's kind of funny. We all getting pulled over for the same thing. So when I went to court, I asked for a trial. I don't know what made me do it. I just asked for a trial. I was like, I'm not pleading guilty to nothing. You know, who determines that my music was loud? This is the way I was thinking. Shit. So when I came out, because they tried to offer me a deal, you know, pay the $500 fine, I said, no, we're going to go to trial. You know, when I came out and went in front of the judge said, your case is dismissed in the interest of justice. Oh, okay. I was prepared to go to trial, but okay. So I went back to work and I gave them the formula. I said, hey, all you got to do is say, no, I want a trial. Say you want a jury. Not one person did it. I just went ahead and paid the fine. Why am I just going to give the courts $500? You know what I mean? But I remember telling like at least 2 people, hey, all you got to do is tell them you want a trial. They'll dismiss it. Trust me. Nobody listened to it. They just paid the $500 fine. So be it. All right. Bobby Hemmitt, y'all. Let's go to Bobby.
These particular things. So I'm going to go into things that you've never heard before, and it's going to be irrational, illogical, and no common sense. But if it makes common sense, if it's rational, logical, in a world like this, then you're dealing with the wrong shit. You see, so this is the spirit realm does not supposed to line up with what is apparent and what is left brain and what is what we would call good sense. The spirit world don't supposed to make no sense because this realm is so damn low until it can't even comprehend things on the other level. So, now, you know, it's interesting because they got brothers and sisters in Africa that now don't know but 2 people, Jesus and Martin Luther King. They don't even, we got, one of the brothers just went over to the continent. He said some of them don't even know their own president, but they know Jesus and Martin Luther King. You see, that Martin Luther King thing, boy, that's the greatest government agent thing that ever worked. You see, that ever worked. Now, to let you know he was a government agent, do you know that all your Martin Luther King drives that's all over the country was patterned after the one in Atlanta? The one in Atlanta starts in the Confederate graveyard. Now, wait a minute now. The Confederate graveyard, we're talking about Margaret Mitchell is even buried in there. And they had to honor her with the whole going with the wind shit to bury her in the Confederate graveyard. Do you know that Martin Luther King Drive starts in the Confederate graveyard? Now, that's an oxymoron and a contradiction. Or is it? That means that he had to be the greatest government agent there ever was, the Negro Boule. And to prove, you can get right on Martin Luther King and you can drive and it starts right in the Confederate graveyard. There's no way the Klan gonna put the road that comes out of the great Confederate graveyard in the capital of the Confederacy and name it after a black man. You see? Now, Martin Luther King, as you know, patterned his whole science after Gandhi. What happened was in the 1950s, you had Honorable Elijah Muhammad's movement. You still had a resurgence of the Noble Drew Ali news movement that was popping up, was carried over, although they killed Noble Drew Ali in the late 30s, early 30s, late 20s. But still, it was still strong enough, and it was still holding on. The Nation of Islam was getting stronger. They had a motorcade for Martin Luther Honorable Elijah Muhammad. They had a motorcade congressional parade for Honorable Elijah Muhammad in 1956 in D.C. And he went to the Congress and damned them all to hell. You had the real civil rights movement started in Harlem with your boy, what's the preacher, Adam Clayton Powell. You had another movement in Mississippi that was going down, and they said, wait a minute, if we got to get on top of it, we got to fashion a movement that can be counter-revolutionary. During the same time, Malcolm had already started teaching, and they needed something to balance that. So the British intelligence called and said, hey, we were successful a couple of years ago with Gandhi, and Gandhi was an agent for the British intelligence.
I hope y'all listening.
And we was able to get out of India with the non-violent bullshit, and Gandhi being an agent of the British intelligence, and we staged the whole thing. And you know that Britain is still the father of America. See what I'm saying? You know that whole Rothschilds and all that whole 9 yards.
Now, I know I've shown y'all this where Dr. Yaffa Bey speaks about that. You know, he says that they only know religion, Jesus, and Martin Luther King. Religion, of course. Religion is always going to work. Then he said Martin Luther King. Why is that going to work? Because nonviolent in the face of violence is the dumbest thing ever. Sorry if I offend anyone, but it is. You're going to not attack someone who's attacking you? The very first law of the universe is self-preservation. See what I'm saying? If I use Luciferian magic, how do you think it would help if I want to make a pact with dark forces? I don't know. Why don't you try it and come back and report to us? Okay? They paid the fines because they're not magic minded like you. Like you said, magic is for the strong. It's just, people are scary too. You know what I'm saying? And religion makes you so docile. You know, you put your faith and beliefs and everything into an invisible being instead of putting faith in yourself. I was still in my Wicca phase when that happened. I wasn't even into the dark side yet. You know, I was still in Wicca. And yet I had enough presence of mind to say, I'm not paying $500 for a fine because you said my music was too loud. Who said it? Who said my music was too loud? I was driving. It is what it is. It is what it is. I respect how you answer that. Oh, well, I mean, Luciferianism isn't bad, though, actually. That, as a matter of fact, if you want to go into magic, right, but not go with any deities or anything like that, Luciferianism is all about self-preservation and the God self. That's what Luciferian magic is about. Okay. Matter of fact, in the Goetia, the Luciferian form of Goetia, you do it backwards. You see what I mean? It's backwards. So that's actually not a bad system to go into, you know. But when I seen, at the end of that program I was telling y'all about, then they had some big old, and I hate to talk about the people, some big old Kentucky Fried Chicken eating nigga sweating and shit, singing at the end. I'm like, how stereotypical do you have to be to include that in the church? You know what I mean? But they got the money to back them up. They got the religion. And forget the money. They have the religion to back them up. They got the beliefs. They got the mind here. You know what I mean? They got the mind. You got the mind. You really don't need anything else. You know what I'm saying? So, I've been a part of Catholicism. I think I was Baptist at one time. I called myself a Muslim at one time. Apostolic. Uh, I don't think I ever did Jewish, but I tried quite a few different paths before I found Magick. Magick is the one-stop shop for me. You know what I mean? You cultivate it, and there's literally nothing you can't do with it. All right? But religion still works on the masses, unfortunately. I will stop and I actually look at these programs. I actually will watch a couple minutes just to see. It's the same format all the time. You got to give. You got to plant the seed. That's the way they say it all the time. You got to plant the seed so that God can bless you 1,000-fold. So you got to give money. This God of y'all's needs money so that he can bless you. And yet, if you was to bring this to someone's attention whose pineal gland is calcified, they're going to give you a fluoride stare. Because you knew they were basically bullying you for $500 and they chose to get bullied, and scripture doesn't really tell you to get bullied. They chose weakness. Yeah, actually, you're absolutely right. Technique Twin is absolutely right. They were trying to bully me into it. And I was like, nah, we can go to trial. I'll get a lawyer. I wasn't going to get a lawyer, but I said I was going to get a lawyer. And you have a right to, they don't want to spend all that money to get $500. They'll be spending more in court. And suppose you don't get a lawyer, then they get a court-appointed attorney. That costs them money, and time, and that's cost them more than $500. They don't want to do all that, so she dismissed it right then and there. I didn't know that's how it was going to turn out, but that's how it turned out. So, old programming chicken wing ending this service. If you could have seen the guy he started singing, I was like, you got to be kidding me. But that's how they ended the program. That's how they ended it. So, a seer, Duke of Tears calls your journey to magic melanated progress when you go through many systems of thought. Hey, I like that. And I respect the seer, the Duke of Tears. He's awesome. That's an awesome brother, Duke of Tears. I like the way you put that. I really do like the way you put that technique, twin. Thanks for that. I remember growing up Seventh-day Adventists. I think I tried to get into that before. The way they used to place fear by telling you if you went out on a Friday night and you died, you're going to hell. That shit used to bother my soul as a child. Yeah. So basically, all of them uses fear. Okay. They use fear and bullying tactics. Okay. Why would an all-powerful, all-knowing God have to wait for you to donate money so that he can bless you? That makes absolutely no sense when you say it out loud like that. It makes no sense at all. Okay. But you would be fighting a losing war if you used to tell people this. That's why I don't use social media to try and preach to people anymore. That time is over with. That is done. Uh, um, that time is over. Okay. And that's all I got today. Just be careful, y'all. I prefer, I mean, it's not up to me, but I prefer y'all just continue to learn at least the basics of magic. At least consider it. At least read the books I suggest, and at least look at the lectures by Bobby Hemming and Azazel Bay, Duke of Tears, C. Freeman L., Phil Valentine, Dr. Ben. Um, who else am I thinking of? Can't think. Names right on the tip of my tongue. But anyway, I hope y'all have a great rest of your day. It looks like it's going to be cold outside, so I'm prepared for that. I will see y'all next time. I am the one and only, the mystical and the magical, the undeniable, the inexplicable, the sorceress, Magick LaCroix. I see y'all next time. Namaste.